have in front of me an IR remote control repeater. It's for up to 4 devices and it's powered by a USB port. Okay, it's available with low-cost postal option directly from freetv.ie. And this is a pretty cool product. It's an advanced version of what we sell already, which is in your typical example of what we sell already is we have a version of this that's powered off the USB port. And what you have is, you have your television, we'll say, mounted on a wall, and you want to operate a set-top box that's hidden out of the way because, you know, aesthetically you don't want to be looking at your set-top boxes, but you do obviously want to be able to control them. So what you do is you power an IR sensor directly off of this unit, and you would then be able to aim your remote control directly at this sensor, which would normally be sitting on top of your television, and then you can control the set-top box is hidden in a cabinet some distance away, out of sight. And what's happening is the signal is being taken up by your remote control, run down through this cable, out through this port here, and directly over to one of these sensors. And the sensor is directly in front of your set-top box, and it sends a signal over, and it says, I want to change channels, I want to up the volume, I want to do whatever on that set-top box, I want to pause the playback on the set-top box. So all of this is happening, and it's working as if the set-top box was mounted on top of the television, and you're aiming the remote directly over at the sensor that's on top of the television. So the next step up from there, we thought, would be to go and get a 4 input version of it. So the idea here would be that you have your television here mounted as before, but now in the cabinet, instead of having a single set-top box, you could, for instance, have a DVD, Blu-ray, a satellite set-top box, a DVR, and I don't know, a VCR, something like that. So I'm just physically going to mount this here. I'm going to say, right, we have this stuck here. I'm going to get this USB here, and we could power this directly off the USB port on the television, or if we didn't have a USB port on the television, you could use something like the charger you'd use for your phone directly on it. So you have that charge there, and then you run the cable over, it feeds into this here. So the next part of the cable here is a couple of meters long, so the total extension from where we have the television over where this is, it's probably a total run length of about 4 meters or so. So that's quite adequate, we'll say, for most circumstances. And then what we do is, again, we have little sticky pads here, and we'll line up the first set-top box here, and we'll just stick this directly in front of where we know the sensor is for picking up a remote control on the set-top box. Stick it to the surface here and have it directly, and have the next one stuck some distance up directly off it. And then what we can do is each one is feeding directly into it. And the reason that it's important to have the sensors directly in front of it, that you want the signal to go directly into the set-top box. So you need the particular remote for these set-top boxes, you have them as normal and you operate it. And it's just a really neat solution. Like if you've spent a lot of money buying a high-end equipment system, and you come along, you have everything, and you want to hide everything away but still have the full functionality of it, something like this works extremely well. And the other thing you don't want to do is, you could potentially come along and put these units into a unit, but then you're left with a situation, if you're not using a sensor like this, where you're aiming the remote control and set it at the television over to the units in the corner, and that's obviously not what you want to do. Everything mounted and everything pointed towards the television is ideal, with all the clutter hidden away in a press. So it's a really great product, and like, we are genuinely proud of ourselves here at freetv.ie, because we're always listening to problems and issues that are raised by our customers, and then we're all the time searching online trying to find the right product to solve it. And this is just a part of a batch of products we've brought in of late that really are great, because nobody else in Ireland or the UK is doing a product like this currently, and so it's a real first for us here at freetv.ie. So that's it anyway, an IR remote control repeater, 4 device, USB powered, available directly from freetv.ie.